You're about to fly, and your phone might get a lot more attention than you expect. Not because TSA is scrolling your private life for fun, but because airports are chaotic, screens light up, devices get handled, and in some situations, your data can be exposed faster than you think. In the next few minutes, I'm walking you through 10 things you should delete or clean up before you head to the airport. Quick, practical, and totally legal so you travel with less risk, less stress, and way more control over your privacy. Number 1. Lock screen leaks. At the airport, the easiest phone check isn't some agent digging through your apps. It's your lock screen doing all the talking for you. You know that moment in the TSA line when your phone lights up and the person behind you can read your bank alert, your doctor reminder, or a text that was meant to stay private? That's the real leak, and it happens every day. Quick reality check, because people mix this up. TSA screening is about keeping dangerous items off the plane, not scrolling your photos. Reports and public statements over the years have been pretty consistent that TSA isn't there to harvest your digital life. The deeper phone searches people worry about usually come up with border officers when you're entering a country, not when you're just going through the regular checkpoint. And even then, it's still not everyone gets searched. It's rare compared to the total number of travelers, but the numbers are big enough that it's worth being prepared, especially if you travel internationally for work or you carry sensitive info. So start with the stuff you control. Clear your notification history and turn off lock screen previews for anything personal. Messages, WhatsApp, email, banking, rideshare, and even your calendar. If you still want notifications, make them show notification instead of the full message. Same deal with widgets. A lock screen widget that shows your next appointment, your home address in a delivery app, or your flight details is basically a little billboard. If you want to make it effortless, set up a travel focus mode. Let it show only what you need. Airline alerts, a ride when you land, and maybe a family contact. Everything else can wait until you're at the gate. This isn't about hiding anything illegal. It's about not handing strangers a free snapshot of your life in the middle of a crowded terminal. And it helps if you ever lose your phone in an airport bathroom, which is way more common than people admit. One more thing people forget: swipe away the obvious stuff before you reach the front. If your last open app is your password manager, your banking app, or a spicy group chat, close it. Airports are chaos. You don't want chaos plus, oops, my screen is visible. Number 2. Sensitive screenshots. Screenshots are the junk drawer of your phone. You grab one fast, tell yourself you'll delete it later, and then it lives there forever. The problem is, screenshots are usually the most sensitive stuff you own. Passport photos, driver's licenses, credit cards, hotel confirmation numbers, boarding passes, vaccine cards, work badges, even a photo of your house key you sent to someone once. Do a quick sweep of your camera roll for the words passport, ID, visa, card, insurance, confirmation, and the name of your bank. Most photo apps let you search by text inside images now, so you don't have to scroll for an hour. Delete what you don't truly need on the road. If you do need a copy for backup, keep it in a secure vault or encrypted storage, not sitting in your recents next to memes and dinner pics. Also check hidden and recently deleted. A lot of people delete the screenshot and think they're done, but it's still hanging out in a folder for weeks. Clearing that folder isn't about being sneaky. It's about reducing the damage if your phone is lost, stolen, or briefly out of your hands. And if you're traveling with family, this matters even more. Parents sometimes keep photos of everyone's passports in one album, just in case. Convenient? Sure. Also a dream scenario for identity theft if that phone disappears. Number 3. Old boarding passes. Boarding passes feel harmless, but they're basically little bundles of data. Your full name, your flight details, and a barcode that ties back to your reservation. People screenshot them, save them in photos, keep them in email, and then forget they exist. Keep what you need for this trip. Delete the leftovers from the last 5 trips. If you're the type who keeps receipts for expense reports, move them to secure cloud storage after you land, then clear them off the device. Same with hotel check-in screens, rental car confirmations, and lounge QR codes. Here's why this matters in real life. Airports are full of shoulder surfers. It takes one glance at a screen for someone to learn your name and flight number, and now they can sound legit if they try a scam call or a fake text like, "Your flight is cancelled. Click here." The more travel data you carry around, the easier it is to impersonate an airline in a convincing way. If you want a low-drama upgrade, rely on the airline app or your phone's wallet for the current trip, and stop living off screenshots. Screenshots are great when Wi-Fi is bad, but they're also the easiest thing to leak or accidentally airdrop to the wrong person. Number 4, password notes. This one is brutal because almost everyone does it at least once. Typing passwords into notes. Or saving your Wi-Fi password, the alarm code at your house, your bank account number, or security question answers like your mother's maiden name in a note called Passwords, like it's 2012. Before you fly, search your Notes app for words like password, PIN, login, SSN, account, routing, seed, recovery, backup code, and 2FA. If you find anything sensitive sitting in plain text, delete it or move it into a real password manager that locks itself. If you already use a password manager, make sure it's set to auto-lock quickly and that you actually remember the master password. And don't forget the shared notes. People share a grocery list with a spouse and then, without thinking, add personal info to the same note because it's convenient. Now it's on 2 phones, maybe 3, and you don't control where it ends up. A simple travel habit: if you have to store something sensitive temporarily, store it for the trip, then clean it up the day you get home. Treat your phone like a carry-on. You don't keep random loose items forever in your carry-on. You clean it out. Number 5, downloaded files. Your phone's Files app, or Downloads folder, is where privacy goes to die. Boarding pass PDFs, tax documents, pay stubs, medical lab results, bank statements, scanned contracts, client files, and random attachments you opened once and forgot about. On a laptop, people think about this. On a phone, they don't. Before flying, open your downloads and recent files and delete anything that doesn't need to travel with you. Then check the offline settings in cloud apps like Google Drive, Dropbox, OneDrive, or iCloud Drive. A file marked Available Offline is basically living on your device, even if you think it's in the cloud. Also check apps that keep their own file lists. PDF readers, document scanners, and even your email app can keep a recent documents carousel. Sometimes you delete the file, but the thumbnail and the file name still show up in recents, which is awkward when the file name is 2025 taxes final2.pdf. If you're traveling for work, this is huge. A lot of people keep a full offline copy of work documents because airports have bad Wi-Fi. That's understandable, but it also means your phone is carrying your company's sensitive stuff through a loud, crowded place where phones get lost. Number 6, chat attachments. Even if your messages are end-to-end encrypted, the stuff inside your chats can still be saved on your phone. Think about it. Photos sent in a group chat, PDFs shared in WhatsApp, voice notes, screenshots, plane tickets, addresses, gate codes, or that one photo of a contract someone sent to you. Do a quick cleanup in your main messaging apps. Delete old threads that contain sensitive attachments and clear downloaded media folders. Many apps autosave images and videos to your camera roll unless you turn that off. That means your private chat photos end up mixed with your vacation pics, and you don't even notice. Also check your trash inside apps that have it. Some apps keep deleted media in a separate folder, kind of like a recycle bin. If the goal is reducing what's stored locally, that matters. This one is especially relevant if you're traveling with a group. Friends will drop hotel room numbers, Airbnb door codes, and meeting spots into the chat. Super normal. But if your phone is lost, the person who finds it now has a complete map of where you're staying and how to get in. Number 7, browser trails. Your browser is basically a diary with timestamps. Booked flights, searched for medication, looked up best neighborhoods to stay, read your bank login page, checked your email, scrolled your socials, and maybe Googled something you'd rather not explain to the stranger next to you. Before you fly, close your tabs. All of them. Then clear your recent downloads and consider clearing your recent history for the past day or week. Not because you're doing something wrong, but because a phone inspection, a stolen phone, or even a simple screen glance can expose more than you think. And look at saved autofill info. If your browser automatically fills your name, address, email, and credit card into forms, that's convenient. Until it's not. If you use a password manager, let the password manager handle it. If you don't, at least review what your browser is storing. This also protects you from airport Wi-Fi scams. A fake, free airport Wi-Fi network plus an autofill-happy browser is a bad combo. If you have the option, use your cellular data or a personal hotspot for anything important, and save the public Wi-Fi for mindless scrolling. Number 8. Location history. This is the part nobody thinks about until it's creepy. Your phone remembers everywhere you've been. Your home address, your work address, your gym, your favorite coffee shop, and the exact route you drive. That data shows up in map searches, recent places, rideshare history, and sometimes your photo metadata. Before traveling, clear recent map searches and saved home and work labels if you don't absolutely need them. At minimum, make sure your lock screen isn't showing directions to your house or a next home prompt. If you're using a rental car app or rideshare app, clear your saved addresses there too. Also check your photo settings. Many phones tag photos with location. If you take a quick selfie at your front door before leaving, the metadata can literally include your address. You don't have to turn off location forever, but travel is a good time to be intentional. And if you share your live location with people, double check who still has access. Lots of us shared our location once for a meetup and forgot about it. It's not dramatic until you realize someone from 2 years ago can still see you roll into the airport. Number 9. Social app caches. Social media is mostly in the cloud, but your phone keeps little leftovers. Cached photos, saved drafts, recent searches, downloaded reels, and sometimes messages synced for offline use. If you're going to a border crossing or an international arrival where device inspections are possible, it's smart to think about what's stored locally versus what's only online. An easy cleanup. Delete saved drafts you forgot about, clear recent searches, and remove downloaded offline content you don't need. If you use multiple accounts, log out of the ones you don't need for the trip. Fewer open sessions means fewer things exposed if your phone is lost or you have to hand it over briefly. Here's a simple trick that's more about safety than secrecy. Before you land internationally, put the phone in airplane mode and power it off. It stops random apps from quietly syncing extra stuff in the background, and it keeps your data in a more locked down state until you unlock it yourself. If you're using Face ID or fingerprint unlock, consider switching to a passcode for the trip, especially for border crossings. A passcode is still not magic, but it's generally stronger protection than biometrics in situations where your phone might be physically in someone else's hands. Some people go extreme and delete social apps entirely before international travel, then reinstall later. That can be a personal choice, but don't make your phone look empty in a way that doesn't match your normal life. Experts often point out that weird, dramatic changes can raise more questions than they solve. The boring, practical move is to reduce local data and keep your account secured. And yes, this applies to dating apps too. Not because anyone cares who you date, but because dating apps can hold private photos, messages, and location-based history. If you're not using it on the trip, don't carry it on the trip. Number 10. Work stuff offline. If you want the single highest impact cleanup, it's this. Anything work-related that syncs offline. Corporate email with months of messages cached. Slack or Teams threads full of internal screenshots. CRM apps with client phone numbers. Shared drive folders marked offline. VPN profiles. Remote desktop apps that can open your work computer from anywhere. If you're traveling for business, you might need some of this, but you almost never need all of it. Go into your work apps and limit what downloads to the device. Remove old attachments. Clear offline folders. And if your company offers a travel profile or a managed work mode, use it. Those setups exist for exactly this reason. This is also where don't be sketchy matters. Wiping your phone to factory new right before a trip, stuffing everything into secret vault apps, or trying to hide files behind weird tricks can backfire and still may not protect you the way you think it does. A cleaner approach is back up your device, keep strong security on it, and carry less sensitive data locally. If you do run into a situation where an officer wants to examine your device, keep it calm and boring. Don't argue in the heat of the moment. Don't volunteer extra information. If you're asked to unlock, think before you react, and if you choose to cooperate, type the passcode yourself rather than handing it over. Before you leave, update your phone and apps. It sounds boring, but updates patch security holes, and you don't want to travel with last year's bugs. Also make sure Find My, or your Android equivalent, is turned on. So if your phone goes missing in the terminal, you have a real shot at locating it or locking it down. Keep a paper copy or a note on a separate device with your airline confirmation and a couple of key phone numbers, so you're not stuck if your phone is locked or dead. Now last thing, keep your phone charged. Not for convenience, because when security asks you to handle your device, a dead phone turns a 2-minute interaction into a whole situation. Strong device security plus less sensitive data on the device is the boring answer. And boring is exactly what you want at an airport. No drama, no surprises.